effect for Charlie. Forward, and draw the sword. Forward, and up and rally.
Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this Scottish campaign. Last time around we fought English rebels under Lord Cut, and we also fought a single regiment of English troops that went through to loot the college and the port. Now though, we're perfectly poised, ready to march across and attack Dublin, Ireland, and wipe out the English once and for all. And it's a perfect opportunity because just last turn they went into bankruptcy, so they have mass desertion among their ranks. So a lot of their units have dropped quite severely in numbers, so it's a perfect opportunity now to strike them. Before we go ahead and strike them though, I want to mention that we have two new premium membership units, which are two of these Highland Warriors which have been named. So we have Wallace Warband and Gordon Highlanders. So that's of course William Wallace. Yes, so we're up to 5. I've yet to release an episode, so there is yet to be I was gonna say random, but the non-premium viewer. With that said, let's go ahead and march across and see if we can't beat them here. Now the army has grown since last time. A little bit, so I think we have like 300 men more, so it's not that much grown. The enemy, even though they suffered from this desertion, are still able to bring 7,000 men. So I wonder what they would have had if it wouldn't been for the desertion. They probably... I'm not entirely sure how many each of these units originally are, but I know the pike units are probably similar to my pike units of 300. So a lot of these have almost lost, 75 men, or this one almost lost 100 men. So we can imagine that it's probably at least 1,000 men that has deserted from their cause. Anyways, let's go ahead and strike up the drum, or I guess it sounds better to strike up the drum than to toot the bagpipe. I don't know. Do you toot it, or what do you do? Do you anyways, let's go ahead and smite some English and liberate, within quotation marks, Ireland. And here's the battlefield. So in terms of my deployment, I've got the cuirassiers on this side. So we've got the 3rd Scottish Cuirassiers, 2nd Forcenator, and the 1st Queen Catherine's Guard. As we go through, we have 2 units of Earl of Argyll's pikemen. We have 2 on either side. Then it's 1 line of matchlock musketeers going all the way through, and then a line behind them of these Highland Warriors. Right here we got the Gordon Highlanders, and right next to them is the Wallace Warband. And that's what we go through all the way through here. Then we got all the Lancers on the furthest right, and here, in between the pikemen and the Lancer, is the Covenant Dragoons, which are set up right here. So we've got 2 units of those, where the one on the right is Henrik's first Sacred Alliance. With that said, it's time to start. The enemy has decided to deploy quite far back, so it's going to take a while for battle to actually commence. Looks like I'm guessing he's firing. One shot went past all the way up here. I'm thinking he's firing at the pikemen, so it's probably good for the general to move away from that. What I'm seeing, what I think will happen, is I will move forward. I'll make a line across from here to here. That way they will match me and they will march all these troops out of the town, and then they will make their line across here. And so we don't have to fight through a town like we did last time. The formation will hold, hopefully, throughout this as we march forward. The battle starts off with a little bit of a skirmish, as we can see here. The English cavalry has attacked our right flank, and really what it started with was the Covenant Dragoons that were ordered in to clear the way over here from the unit that held the wall, because all other units started to retreat, except that one unit that held the wall. So I send up the Dragoons. They almost flawlessly kill the unit with only 2 casualties. Then though, they were unfortunately continuing after them into the line of fire of the enemy cannons. And that took quite the toll, as we can see here. And so one unit of the Covenant Dragoons is leaving completely, and it's only Henrik's Lions which hold on. Meanwhile, the enemy Pistoliers, which took part in this charge, as we can see, this is happening right now actually broke through 2 of the Matchlock regiments. And hadn't it been for me quickly deploying the Argyle pikemen to go ahead and cover that, they probably would have cut through that as well. The enemy Pistoliers here are actually almost destroying my Scottish Lancers, so that's not very good. However, let's see if the Covenant Dragoons can't fire into the back of the enemy and save the Lancers from getting destroyed here. And then follow up that with a cavalry shock. So it's not a super great start. I lost 2 units, actually 3 units left the field. But then again, the enemy is now lost 3 units of cannon, 3 units of cavalry, more or less, and I have been able to advance my position on the battlefield here. Although if has been quite costly. With this, I'm going to reorganize a little bit. And I think what I'll do is I'll tighten my lines a little bit in response to having lost this many men. But we should advance out through the woods as soon as possible and advance on the main English army. The lines are advancing just in perfect time as the enemy is reorganizing their entire line. This will hopefully help us quite a bit. I notice now, I did notice already before, but now when I actually see it on the field, they have a lot of pikes. Also, newfound respect for the pistoliers. However, it looks like they've actually spent all their heavy cavalry, and they only have these sort of more provincial units. Really trying to avoid fighting as much as possible in the woods. That cannon continuously tries to fire at the pikemen, which it has succeeded in, as we can see right here. Quite a few pike units destroyed. Citizen militia, garrison infantry. My heavy cuirassiers could easily smash through here. But what I really want is for my lancers to have a way through. And there's so many obstacles here that it'll be hard to navigate this. But I think if we make into kind of a thin line like this, we should be able to negotiate our way through there. Right. The first unit is about to fire while the rest are coming into line. I think we'll avoid going immediately to try and storm their position. We'll soften them up with volleys first, even though shooting through the woods here proves very pointless, as full volleys into this has caused 3 casualties on this unit. Out here in the open, I'm hoping for better results. And currently, as it is, we are laying more fire down upon them than they are on us, and soon enough this cannon will give way, although it fired it now at point blank range towards my pike units. Reformed arquebusiers and other troops are now making the way forward through here. So it looks like this could be a focal point. I'm going to order them to go ahead and form into square. We're going to see where the arquebusiers want to go. They moved forward just to fire on the squares. I'm going to get my cuirassiers coming closer. And then I'm going to order them to use their pistols. Let's get the lancers through here. What the crap are you doing? Still, much of what the enemy is doing is just a big disarray. However, it looks like they're charging on this side, which I definitely can't abide by. Let's go ahead and get these guys into position while the rest of my cavalry is being blocked here by 1 unit of yeomanry. And unfortunately, it's my bloody Sacred Lions that went in first, which are not really that strong of a melee unit. Okay, they're charging in more units all across the line here. So I'm ordering in the war bands now. And then Wallace and Gordon's going in here. These coming around here. Get your pistols out. Pikes forward. Come on, push through there. I'll get the pikes out and see about enveloping the enemy there. Oh shit! I should not have set Forcenator's guards. I missed that, and they took heavy toll on that unit. Looks like my troops are doing well here, though. Ah, Sacred Lions! Of course you're gonna retreat into that. I thought I had a clear way for them to ride through, but clearly not. I need to peel one heavy unit off there. Okay, so I'm clearly winning on this side. Why? How hard can it be to push through? I guess I'll have to have more for the geomanry, because clearly they were doing a number. There's so many enemy troops over on this side. I want to peel this unit off. And I want to see if I can concentrate these guys on destroying this. Having this side hopefully hold out. Even with that loss, Forcenator is actually holding out very well. And I think we're shooting our own here, so I think this entire line need to kind of re-establish itself a little bit. Okay, so they finally managed to somehow get through. But it took a long while. Troops here still fighting. I should probably order my pike units to form into squares. Alright, let's have the war bands continue through here and kind of clear this way together with the lancers going through, and then I'll have all the matchlock units running up really close right behind and shooting the enemy in the back. There should be 2 pikes on this side as well, right? There's one pike and there's the other. They will go ahead and join in this as well. And then there was some war bands that are not moving. But what's this? Oh, there goes the enemy general. I'll actually peel off these guys, the Forcenators, to go ahead and get rid of those. Let's see. Unfortunately, we've got, so it's a Highland Warrior. I don't think I can wait any longer. I have to order in the Highland regiments to charge here, because a lot of these units are now sort of giving way. It looks like their entire force is now about to give up. So I'm ordering everyone forward into the charge. Yes. The enemy is broken. And it turns into a mass slaughter. Seemingly, though, there's one unit somewhere, because the slaughter does not end. I want to see about organizing the troops. Drop your squares. And then the matchlock infantry needs to hold their fire. And let's see what we actually have left here. Right, so we do have 3 lancers, 3 cuirassiers and everything. It doesn't seem like we actually lost that many units that are routing. We have 3 war bands running here, or 2 war bands actually, and then everyone else seems fine. Should have moved in quicker, charged in the rear of the enemy here, because I think we needlessly lost way too many men. There's one unit holding out somewhere. Oh, there. And there. Gordon's little group on his own here against the enemy pikes. And we've got whatever this regiment is retreating, and now this one retreating. That should be it, shouldn't it? That should be victory, if there's not something else hiding. I will declare this a victory anyways. I mean, they're not going to be able to produce any types of numbers that will be able to fight me. And that concludes the Battle of Dublin. So, we deployed 6,500 men, roughly, against 7,400 of the enemy. The enemy lost every single troop. Actually, they didn't lose. Apparently 142 men remaining. And that is the one unit that held up the battle. The guys that were the pikemen that were holding down at the harbor, they were the ones who turned up late and held up the battle from finishing there at the end. So they are still there. For how long, I don't know. But otherwise, the entire force was taken down. And we can see that we lost 2,500 men. We have a force of 4,000 remaining then. In terms of friendly fires, it looks to be about 150 men friendly fire, roughly. When it comes to kills, it's Scottish Cuirassier that kill the most. I'm not entirely sure. 58, we'll have to check that. Scottish Cuirassier, if that is a named unit. Edinburgh Horse Guard, though, we know that is the one commanded by Fortunator, and they lost a lot. That close range volley killed loads of them, but they stayed in the fight to the very end. And it shows, because they killed 362. However, whoever this Scottish cuirassier is, it outperformed everyone else. Then we have Highland warriors. I specifically named Gordon and... what's it called? Gordon and Wallace. I specifically named those that already had 3 points there. And given that this one has so few men remaining after the battle, I'm pretty sure that this is either Gordon or Wallace. Given that it's only 38, it could very well be Wallace, because he routed. I noted that during the battle. Otherwise, it's... and then this could be the other one. I'm surprised, actually. Where do I have my Covenant Dragoons? I was actually surprised to see that they are not in the top. So, Covenant Dragoons did very well in the beginning, but they were caught out in fighting heavier cavalry, and there is where they faltered. So, bad planning on my part. But there we have it. So it's it could be, you know what? I think looking at this here, Wallace at 38 probably was destroyed. So it's only Gordon then that remains, what it looks like here. And then only one of the Covenant Dragoons survived. So I'm not entirely sure if that's the Sacred Lions or if the other one. We'll have to check. But this should end the British. Great Britain has been destroyed, which means that I am in complete control of the island. We are no longer at war with anyone, which means that I can send my trade navy back, and we just opened up some lucrative opportunities to... oh, that fell to the pirates. Immediately the islands fell to the pirates. So the pirates have a big stronghold here then. But the plan still remains. We will go for the Dutch first, or the Dutch rebel territories. Once those are captured, we'll head for all the others, and we'll start building on our empire. As it is right now, though, the most important thing is actually to get my trade navy back into play. So, with one ship here, you should head there. I wanna send about half. The thing is, I don't know how many spots are left or open. So here's clearly there's 4. So I want to send 4 there because slavery is profitable. And then the sugar one, we've already sent 1 there. I'm not entirely sure there's any more room because those areas were taken up. But there should be openings in the spice area. So I'll send them there. So hopefully that should do just well. We'll make 6,000 per turn. I am in no rush to go ahead and replenish the army. But what we should check then. Okay, so the Sacred Lions were actually the one that got destroyed, and then it was Wallace war. Funny how like the 2 groups that actually died are the 2 named groups. That's rather silly, isn't it? Right, there's going to be a lot of building here, but once we start off in the next episode, I'm hoping that we'll start on the colonial conquest of areas of the New World. with that said, I think we'll end it right here. I think this is perfectly fine. We had a major victory, and our only adversary, as of now, has been defeated. So I will say what I always say. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.